Yeah, he's so stupid.
I'm gonna say one thing, fuck Trump.
I mean, he's so blatantly stupid. He's a punk, he's a dog, he's a pig, he's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't do his homework, doesn't care, thinks he's gaming society, doesn't pay his taxes. He's an idiot. Colin Powell said it best. He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry.
When Robert De Niro unleashed that barrage, it wasn't just another celebrity rant. It cut straight to the image Trump protects most. This video uses real public footage for commentary and education, and it begins with Robert De Niro's sharpest words for Donald Trump.
The guy's a monster. He is beyond wrong. It's almost like he wants to do the most horrible things that he can think of in order to get a rise out of us. I don't know what it is, but he's been doing it, and it's scary.
At one appearance, De Niro didn't soften his words. He called Trump a monster, accusing him of stirring chaos on purpose, and the room broke into uneasy applause. Do you agree with Robert? If you do, hit that subscribe button.
He's a sociopathic, psychopathic, malignant narcissist. He is a dangerous person, and we have to realize, a lot of people, this audience, but the people who somehow think he's going to be the answer to their prayers, whatever those are.
Did you know
God,
him?
no.
That line landed even harder. The crowd clapped, but De Niro wasn't joking. He warned that people still treating Trump as an answer to their problems might not see the danger until it's too late.
Talks how he wants to punch people in the face. Well, I'd like to punch him in the face. This is somebody that we want for president? I don't think so. What I care about is the direction of this country. And what I'm very, very worried about is that it might go in the wrong direction with someone like Donald Trump.
He mixed anger with alarm, saying Trump wasn't just reckless, but steering the country toward the wrong direction. It was less an insult, more a warning.
He was an idiot. He was a clown. He was a clown in New York. And New Yorkers said, you know, some would go with him, of course, people who work in what he does, some of them. But it's just, he's a classic bully. If you had a schoolyard and he walked in and he had his bully friends around, the other people decide whether they want to oppose him or they want to let him just tell him what to do and own the schoolyard or the basketball court or whatever it is. He's got to be stopped.
And when he called Trump a clown and a schoolyard bully, the audience laughed. But De Niro's point was serious. Bullies rely on silence and fear, and in his view, that's not leadership, that's intimidation. Stay with us. What happens next shows why this fight is bigger than one man.
And then they have a protest of Robert De Niro yesterday. He's a fool. He's a broken down fool standing out there, and he got maggot. He got maggot yesterday. He got a big dose of.
Trump's reaction was immediate and angry, shifting from rallies to his own social platform. He turned De Niro into a target, questioning his intelligence and mocking his career.
I think this might have been the first time he wrote about you. Robert De Niro, a very low IQ individual, has received he spelled two wrong, many shots to the head by real boxers in movies. I watched him last night, truly believe he may be punch drunk, and then he says, at the end, he says, wake up punchy. Robert De Niro, whose acting talents have greatly diminished with his reputation now shot, must even use a teleprompter for his foul and disgusting language. So disrespectful to our country. Now, in all fairness to the former president, is that true? Do you have to use a teleprompter when speaking about President Trump? Or are you able to just kind of riff on your thoughts on him?
What might have been just another outburst quickly became late-night material, with comedians reading Trump's posts aloud as the audience laughed at the sheer tone of it.
We're in a very bad situation. I remember you and I about 5-6 years ago talking. I'm down at the Spring Studios, something about, I said, what just happened just happened. No, it didn't. It didn't happen. It's all about truth. And what we have here is a denial of truth all over the place. And even the speech that he made after is insane. It's just insane, and I'm very, very concerned about it. I think we all are. It's insane. So that's why I felt I had to do something, say something about it, to go on record.
De Niro, meanwhile, dismissed it as insane, pointing to something larger, the denial of truth itself. So Trump blew up on stage. Melania, still as ever. No words, no glance, just silence that made more noise than his rant. What was she really thinking? This is where it stings.
The notable absence of his future ex-wife Melania on the campaign trail.
She loves the country. You know, when I do rallies, I have so many signs. We love our First Lady. The people love her. They love the fact that she's not out there so much. You know, a lot of First Ladies, we go out, they want to be everywhere. They get angry at their husband because he's not introducing them. If I didn't introduce Melania, she'd be very happy about it.
In other words, you will not be seeing Melania anytime soon.
The other half of the story was missing, literally. Melania stayed silent, her absence sparking just as many questions as his words.
Missing from the campaign. She's missing from the RNC. She's missing from the rallies. She put out a written statement after Trump was shot, and otherwise continues to be completely missing. Melania Trump is missing. She's nowhere to be found. And corporate media is essentially silent.
Reporters noticed the same pattern. Melania skipped the RNC, skipped the campaign trail, and even after Trump was attacked, she offered only a written statement.
When I say punch him in the face, go at him. A bully, you punch in the face. The trouble with Trump is he's not just a bully, he's a stupid bully.
And when De Niro called Trump a stupid bully, the contrast was sharp. He was shouting. Jimmy was joking, reporters were pointing, but Melania's quiet said more than all of them. So if you love this country, stay right here, because what's coming next says everything.
It's funny, I was just thinking that he actually became president. He could have done good things. Instead, he had to do it all wrong. He's so, as we all know, so narcissistic and self-centered. Yeah, he's so stupid. Look at the lame, inane things that he said. He's so stupid, he can't even say anything clever or smooth. He's a moron. But he's a scary one. And in all seriousness, and we know it here, people have to get out and vote and vote and vote and vote.
He told audiences Trump could have chosen to govern differently, but instead fed his own ego. The message drew both laughs and uneasy applause, showing the mix of humor and fear his words carried.
He's more than that to me. He's sick. He is really, genuinely a sick person that somehow has been allowed into our system. And I'm not calling him, I'm tired of calling him names. He just can't be anywhere near the office of the presidency. He's a fake president.
Now, what do you mean by that?
Well, he calls everything fake because he knows he's fake. So he's projecting.
He's projecting all the time, yeah. Accuse them of the thing that you know that you did.
That somewhere deep down, I don't want to get all psychological.
At other events, he pressed harder, saying Trump's constant cries of fake were projection, an attempt to brand others with the very flaws he carried himself.
I don't think they understand how dangerous it will be if he ever, God forbid, becomes president. I don't think they really understand. And historically, from what I see, even in Nazi Germany, they had it with Hitler. They don't take him serious. He looks like a clown, acts like a clown. Mussolini, same thing. These guys, I don't know why, they look like clowns. They somehow, people, that element of society identifies in some ways with them, but it would be chaos beyond our imagination.
When De Niro warned that dismissing Trump as just a clown could be a mistake, the room grew tense. He reminded listeners that history had seen figures once laughed at rise into power with devastating results.
this guy should not be president, period.
And when you say that, folks on Fox come after you. I remember the Tonys when you got up there and cursed. A lot of criticism of you.
Fuck him.
Okay, well, you know, this is cable,
Sorry.
so it's not an FCC violation, but it is still a Sunday morning.
Well,
I do wonder why you choose to go that way.
Let me say something.
Why do you choose to go that way?
We are at a moment in our life, in this country, where this guy is like a gangster. He's come along and he's said things, done things we say over and over again. This is terrible. We're in a terrible situation. We're in a terrible situation. And this guy just keeps going on and on and on without being stopped.
He went further, describing Trump's style as more gangster than president, someone repeating the same troubling behavior without consequence.
I don't know whether this is actually possible in reality, but where I can handcuff him and take him away in an orange jumpsuit. That would be... That's what I said right after he was elected. Give him a chance. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. This guy has proven himself to be a total loser.
Audiences laughed when he joked about handcuffs, but the context was heavier. Within just 6 months of taking power, the administration froze billions in federal funding, stalled agencies, and fired watchdogs, leaving the government in disarray.
But I gotta say, there is a difference. He's a criminal. Kamala Harris is not a criminal. Joe Biden is not part of a crime family. And he knows that, and I'm sure a lot of people with him know that, especially the Republicans that are supposed to defend this country and oppose him.
On stage, he contrasted Trump with other leaders, calling him criminal in style. Off stage, analysts echoed the same point. Oversight was gutted, federal jobs cut. Even FEMA was under review for elimination.
I hate bullies, thugs who use their strength to push other people around. They think they can achieve power and hang on to it by intimidating others. Sadly, sometimes it works, but most of the time it doesn't. And now we have Trump. He's all that, about intimidation, retribution. He's going to prosecute. He's going to send you to jail for having an abortion. He's going to take your Medicare and Social Security away. He's going to deport you. He's going to send the military after you if you defy him. You know this shit works on? The MAGA politicians who are afraid of losing their power. They're so afraid of him, he's got them kissing his ass. And now they're trying to intimidate us. We will not allow that, not even for a minute, not even for a second. We need to show them our power and vote them all out, every one of them. The way to take down a bully is to look him straight in the eye and then watch him start to crumble.
His warnings drew applause, especially when he described Trump as a bully and accused him of threatening not just the city, but the country itself.
I love this city. I love this city. I don't want to destroy it. Donald Trump wants to destroy not only the city, but the country, and eventually he could destroy the world. But we vowed we would not allow terrorists. I owe this city a lot. And that's why it's so weird that Donald Trump is just across the street. Because he doesn't belong in my city. I don't know where he belongs, but he certainly doesn't belong here. Promising to use our own military to attack U.S. citizens. That's the tyrant. That's the tyrant he's telling us he'll be. And believe me, he means it.
These weren't just Hollywood lines. They reflected real policies, real consequences, and a growing fear that a second term wouldn't simply repeat history, it would accelerate it. As the clash continued, De Niro shifted his focus to the image Trump built around himself.
I'm going to say one thing, fuck Trump. It's no longer down with Trump, it's fuck Trump.
The reaction in the room showed how raw that message was. His point was tied to Trump's record, mocking John McCain, avoiding service, and still claiming the mantle of patriot.
Today we have a kind of a weird, twisted president who thinks he's a gangster, who's not even a good gangster. Because this is a guy that, you know, even gangsters like Honor Among Thieves, you shake a hand, you have your word. That's all you have.
Yeah.
Is your word, and they have your word, and that's it. This guy is not the case.
He went further, describing a president who used threats instead of trust. The crowd laughed, but the charge was serious: leadership without honor.
I don't think they understand how dangerous it will be if he ever, God forbid, becomes president. I don't think they really understand. And historically, from what I see, even in Nazi Germany, they had it with Hitler. They don't take him serious. He looks like a clown, acts like a clown. Mussolini, same thing. These guys, I don't know why, they look like clowns. They somehow, people, that element of society identifies in some ways with them, but it would be chaos beyond our imagination.
And for De Niro, it wasn't performance. It was a warning about what could come next.
He pretends to be dumber than he is to confuse people and make them think, no, you think he's...
No, I don't think so.
Why do you think, I'm curious why you would guess that there's a big group of people in this country who believe that he cares about them?
I am totally dumbfounded, baffled by that. I can't understand it. And it's a thing that we've seen over decades and decades. And he's a what's it, Tammy Faye and the other one.
Yes.
It's the same thing, give us your money, we're going to save you. Yeah, televangelist.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing. And it's so obvious. I just don't understand.
By this point, De Niro wasn't just trading insults. He was calling for action, reminding people that democracy only survives when citizens step up. To him, it looked less like politics and more like a performance built on false promises.
It was like a joke. This buffoon running for president. No, never could happen. We'd forgotten the lessons of history that showed us other clowns who weren't taken seriously until they became vicious dictators. With Trump, we have a second chance, and no one is laughing now. This is the time to stop him.
And then came the warning. For De Niro, the second chance was now, and it meant stopping Trump at the ballot box.
These things are it's much worse now than it was with Nixon. He's a Boy Scout compared to Trump.
We also heard from Trump saying that anybody who opposes him is the enemy within. That's the language he uses.
When I say the enemy from within, the other side goes crazy, becomes a sound. Oh, how can he say? No, they've done very bad things to this country. They are indeed the enemy from within, but this is who we're fighting.
He's talking about himself. The enemy within. He is the enemy within. He's projecting everything he says. It gets back to intimidation. That's the key. Intimidation.
He framed it as more than partisanship. The fight, he said, was against intimidation itself. Not left versus right, but democracy against the erosion of truth.
In my country, we're fighting like hell for the democracy we once took for granted. And that affects all of us. That affects all of us here because the arts are democratic. Art is inclusive. It brings people together. Like tonight, art looks for truth. Art embraces diversity. And that's why art is a threat. That's why we are a threat to autocrats and fascists. America's Philistine president has had himself appointed head of one of our premier cultural institutions. He has cut funding and support to the arts, humanities, and education. And now he has announced a 100% tariff on films produced outside the U.S. Let that sink in for a minute.
Even on one of cinema's most celebrated nights, De Niro couldn't ignore the real-life drama back home. Calling Trump America's Philistine president, he reminded the world that this wasn't just about politics, it was about values, culture, and the kind of country we're becoming. And after everything he said from the courtroom to the red carpet, one thing's clear: Robert De Niro didn't just criticize Trump, he made it personal, global, and impossible to ignore. From the stage to the courtroom steps, Robert De Niro's message has been consistent and impossible to ignore. He didn't just deliver a few scathing lines, he ignited a cultural firestorm, confronting Trump as a symbol of something far bigger. Through every sharp word calling out corruption, narcissism, and moral decay, De Niro gave voice to a deeper anxiety shared by millions: that democracy isn't guaranteed, and silence is no longer an option. This video covers a televised segment where Robert De Niro publicly commented on Donald Trump, referencing his past actions and remarks. All content is based on verified public footage and widely reported media coverage. We strive to present the facts and public reactions accurately, without exaggeration or distortion. This video fully complies with YouTube's community guidelines and fair use policy for political commentary, analysis, and public interest. If you found this video